Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. Today is Tuesday, May the 30th, 2017. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, we'll take you to Manchester's Memorial Day ceremony. We'll check out the sumo wrestlers at West Middle School. And Police Chief Paul Blackwell will talk about cameras installed at some Tullahoma intersections. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Celebrate America's independence at This free event has music and fun for everyone. Tribute bands featuring the music of Chicago, Steely Dan, Tom Petty, and more. Plus a kids zone, exotic animal pet, food fun, and get the details at tullahomatn.gov/fire. Everyone is invited to enjoy the Tullahoma Kiwanis Independence Day Regional Celebration.
Welcome back. Several hundred Coffee County residents gathered at the Courthouse Square in Manchester yesterday to remember our nation's veterans who were killed in the service of our country. Newsleader producer Philip Scoggins brings us this video.
For more than 200 years, the American flag has been the symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of Americans. In 1777, the Second Continental Congress determined that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternating between 7 red and 6 white, and that the Union be 13 white stars in a blue field representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, the shape and design of the flag evolved into the flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes represent the original 13 colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes valor, white signifies purity and innocence, and the blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. If you've ever been at a military funeral, you saw a flag-draped coffin. When the flag is removed, it was folded in a certain way. If you've ever wondered why it was done that way, we will explain what each fold represents. The flag folding ceremony represents the same religious principles on which our great country was originally founded. In 1814, Francis Scott Key was so moved at seeing the stars and stripes waving over the horrendous British bombardment of Fort McHenry that he wrote the words to the Star-Spangled Banner, our national anthem. In the United States Armed Forces, at the ceremony of evening retreat, the flag is lowered, folded in a triangle fold, and kept under watch throughout the night as a tribute to our nation's honored dead. The next morning it's brought out and at the ceremony of reveille run aloft as a symbol of our belief in the resurrection of the body. The following represents the folds of our flag. The first fold is a symbol of life given to us by our Creator. The second fold is for our belief in eternal life, which is promised by our Creator. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the departed veteran who gave a portion of his or her life for the defense of our country to attain peace throughout the world. The fourth fold stands for our weaker nature, for as American citizens we trust in God. It's to him that we turn to in times of peace as well as in times of war for his divine guidance. The fifth fold is a tribute to our country. In the words of Stephen Decatur, a naval officer during the War of 1812, our country in dealing with other countries, may she always be right. But it is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is where our heart lies. It's with our heart that we pledge our allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces, for it is the armed forces that protect our country and flag against all enemies, whether they be foreign or domestic. The eighth fold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that we might see the light of day. The ninth fold is a tribute to the mothers, for it's through their love, faith, loyalty, and devotion that the character of the men and women who've made this country great has been molded. The 10th fold is a tribute to the fathers, for they too have given their sons and daughters for the defense of our country. The 11th fold, in the eyes of a Hebrew citizen, represents the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon, and glorifies in their eyes the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The 12th fold, in the eyes of a Christian citizen, represents an emblem of eternity and glorifies in their eyes God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. The 13th fold, or when the flag is completely folded, shows that the stars are uppermost on all sides, reminding us of our national motto, "In God we trust." When the flag is completely folded and tucked in, it takes on the appearance of a cocked hat, ever reminding us of the soldiers who served under General George Washington and the sailors and Marines who served under Captain John Paul Jones, who were followed by their comrades and shipmates in the armed forces of the United States, preserving for us the rights, privileges, and freedoms that we enjoy today. The next time you see a flag ceremony honoring someone that has served our country, either in the armed forces or in our civilian services, such as the police or fire service, keep in mind all of the important reasons behind each and every movement in the flag folding ceremony. May you always know joy in your soul and pride in your heart when you see our flag on display. May you always remember the sacrifice of those who served in uniform and their families, all through the years in the preservation of our freedom. And may you keep a prayer on your lips for our flag and nation, that we might always see her wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We'll be right back with more Newsleader on 6.
He said, well, I got you approved for it. All you got to do is go drive it and tell me you want it. We can do the papers today. And I walked out of here with pretty much a brand new vehicle.
I would recommend Dr. Credit to anybody.
If you don't think that you can get a car, come see these guys. They are amazing and they can find you what you're looking for. If they could do it with me, they can definitely work a miracle for you.
I would recommend them to anybody and everybody. Schedule your appointment with Dr. Credit at Russell Barnett Kia so you can drive away happy.
What I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing is that
Oklahoma.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Welcome back. Several Tullahoma residents have asked lately if the city has installed cameras to assist with traffic law enforcement. Police Chief Paul Blackwell answers that question. One other question is not really under your department, but
I could probably direct you to the right person.
Somebody asked the mayor yesterday, why is there a camera at the intersection of Clement Drive and Highway 130, I guess.
And that's a good question, and I believe Mr. Baltz answered that the other day.
Yeah.
Because the email was sent to both Mr. Baltz and myself, so I let Mr. Baltz answer those questions when we're both on the email. But those cameras at that intersection are motion activated, so there's no loop in the road. You know, most intersections have something under the pavement that triggers when a car passes over it, but at those intersections it's a camera that does it. So it detects the motion and then it activates the lights based on the vehicle traffic.
And I suppose that works pretty efficiently.
It does.
You think?
And we have the same type set up at the corner of Lincoln and Atlantic. If you look up, you'll see that camera up there. Those are not video cameras. They are motion detection cameras for the vehicles.
Oh, okay. All right.
And in some places, they have another feature on them that picks up the sound of a siren. So as a siren approaches it and the tone and ever changes, it'll activate the lights to where the emergency vehicle has a green light. But these aren't set up that way, but there is that capability as well, which is a safety factor so that emergency vehicles have a green light when they go through it.
Yeah. So is that where it's all going to go to one day, or is it?
You know, I guess that would be. I would think there's a lot less expense in that type of, and easier to repair, because if that loop goes out, you got to tear the pavement up to repair the loop, and anytime you resurface the road, you know, does that have an impact on the loop?
Right.
So when it's above ground and up there, I could see there's a lot of advantages to that.
Right.
And I'm like you. I think everything before long is going to be, you know, technology-based, wireless transmissions and everything, and I think that's possibly what's going to be in the future.
And a lot of cities use cameras to give tickets by cameras.
I think it's becoming less and less because of the
somewhat controversial.
The outcry from the public, and even from our legislators.
To my knowledge, we've never used those until
we don't have any. We don't have any photo enforcement cameras.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we do have our speed trailer that we put out in different locations that has the ability to take a picture, but it doesn't issue a citation. So if we've got a car that's going 90 miles an hour, it's going to take its picture, and we get a notification so we can try to locate that vehicle. Or, you know, we do police work and say, okay, they came through at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on this day. We're just going to have an officer out there tomorrow at 3 o'clock, see if that same car comes through.
Correct.
Because people are generally creatures of habit and do the same thing. So that's the only thing we use a camera for, to take pictures of violators.
We'll be right back after these messages.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Tom Corrington recently interviewed a Franklin County resident who has a very unusual occupation. Tonight we bring you part 1 of that interview.
We're talking today, folks, with Pete Waldemeyer. Pete is from Winchester, and he works in a little larger territory than that. We'll find out what Pete's up to and how he goes about it. So, Pete, tell the folks, what is it you do?
Okay, I have a company called Bee Busters, but we don't collect bees. We have nothing to do with honeybees at all. We collect yellow jackets and hornets and a certain kind of wasp, locally known as a guinea wasp. These bugs that I collect, they go to a lab in Pennsylvania where they extract the venom from every individual bug, and they use that to make allergy medicine for people who have allergies to the stings. There's a lot of people killed every year just from a single sting because they have allergies. They get stung, they go into anaphylactic shock, and they drop dead.
Yeah.
And if the venom that from the bugs that I collect, that's used for immunotherapy, so that people can become desensitized to the venom, so that they don't die when they get stung.
Yeah. And the lab you're working with is in Pennsylvania, I think?
Yes, there's actually 2 locations now. They're in Pennsylvania, and there's another lab in Idaho. So depending on which bugs I have, that I've collected, some of them go to Pennsylvania, some of them go to Idaho now.
Yeah. Okay. Are those the only 2? Is that the only company in the country that?
Right now, it's the only company in the world. They're the sole provider of insect venom. Huh. They had a competitor in Europe, and it's my understanding that they got driven out of business by regulations. I don't remember what country it was in.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting big orders for the immediate future until that other company gets back up and running.
Okay. How'd you? Why are you doing this? How'd you get into this?
I got into this because I'm retired, and this is a great supplement for my pension. The service doesn't cost the customer anything. It's absolutely free. You call me up, I come to your house, and you show me where your yellow jacket nest or your hornet nest is, and I'll get my equipment together, get rid of those bugs, bring them with me, and there's no cost at all. Because I have a contract with the laboratory, I get paid by them.
You get paid by the lab. Yeah. That's interesting. Well, I don't guess we need to get into the technicality quite that deep, but I was wondering how many bugs do they have to have in order to make a batch of the venom?
I actually don't know. I usually my typical order is 8 to 10 pounds of hornets, and last summer they wanted 19 pounds of yellow jackets.
Were you able to get 19 pounds?
No.
No?
I think I got about 8.
Yeah.
It was not a good year for yellow jackets last year.
But among other things, what you need is to get the word around that you're here.
Yes, I'm here, and it's free.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost anything. I mean, why fool around with getting yourself stung?
Oh, yeah.
If you can call somebody like me who will come and take care of the problem, and it doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
You get rid of a dangerous menace, and I make a few bucks off the lab, and in the end, lives are saved.
How'd you get into this business anyway? This is a little bit of an unusual occupation.
Yeah. My brother has been doing this for 25 years.
Okay.
He collects the same bugs out in Roanoke, Virginia. And when the director of the lab heard that I was moving to Tennessee, he called me and recruited me to become a collector. There was no collector in Tennessee, and this is a real honey hole for stinging insects, as everybody knows.
Yeah. So
go out, cut the grass.
Yeah.
Run up your pants legs.
because of your brother's connection, you got recruited by the lab.
Yes.
Because there was nobody in this area.
Yeah,
You're
and
the
there
only one in Tennessee that you know of?
Yes, I'm the only collector in Tennessee, and there are only 40 of us in the country.
In the whole country?
In the whole country.
And be sure to tune into Thursday's newsletter when we will learn about the tools he uses to do what he does. More of the newsletter on 6 is coming up in just a moment.
Have you ever been involved in one of these? And you need one of these? Then look no further than the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center. With a state-of-the-art facility, aluminum capabilities, lifetime paint guarantee, Russell Barnett auto rental, claims assistance from start to finish. We're here to serve you. So stop by and let us show you why we are #1, the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gotta be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Welcome back. As the current school year winds to a close, students at West Middle School in Tullahoma were entertained last week by faculty members who assumed the role of sumo wrestlers. Let's watch.
And y'all are 3 of the wrestlers, right? There's going to be 4. What's going to be, a tag team?
Tag team.
Just free for all?
Tag team, free for all. T-Town Records. T-Town Records.
T-Town Records.
The Blue Creek Mafia versus T-Town Records.
Y'all couldn't wreck.
T-Town Records is Big Country Harris and the Tasmanian Devil versus Pretty Boy Sharan and La Iguana Morado, which is the purple iguana.
You want me to call somebody?
It's on the
And don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Fellowship of Christian Athletes Dwight Cox, who will tell us about some opportunities for middle and high schoolers to go to camp this summer. Fran Ray will come by with a local woodworker who is producing some beautiful American flags, and we'll have extended coverage of this past weekend's Memorial Day activities in Tullahoma and Manchester. All that and more on this week's Living.
Stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family has long owner advantage. It starts as we have 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plans available. Car detailing, car rental, collision repair. Stop by 5 locations and let one of our certified tell you all about it. Automotive Family Advantage Program. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
It's your trademark. That's something special everyone knows and remembers. It's your thing. It's made holidays special for decades, and summers unforgettable for the entire neighborhood. It's made everyone laugh every single time. Don't let illness or injury keep you from doing your thing. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1941 at 95 degrees. The record low was in 1947 at 44 degrees. Average high on this day is 81 and the average low is 59. Tonight there's a chance of late showers with a low of around 57. Wednesday, 40% chance of storms with a high of 77 and a low of 64. And on Thursday, partly cloudy weather expected with a high of 81 and a low of 64. And that's our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great evening.